They basically made this agreement late last year in the second half to use this in governments, but with two main carve-outs that Anthropic refused to allow, one of which was to have it used autonomously without any sort of human oversight for weapons purposes, and the other one was to say that we would not allow any sort of oversight or snooping on individual American citizens provided they were being lawful. So two really strong red lines that Donald Trump allegedly seems to have wanted to go through and completely destroy, which has meant that Anthropic effectively said no.
Everything's computer.
It is. Chris Stokel-Walker joins us to talk tech on a Monday at this time, and we always look forward to it. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Jane. How are you?
Yes, not too bad, thanks. Obviously, a difficult time for the world. Let's just be honest about that. And let's start with the US government and its relationship with the AI company Anthropic. Now, the US military reportedly used Anthropic's AI to inform the attacks on Iran, but Trump is no fan. Can you explain everything?
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult to try and unpick this, which I guess is part and parcel of trying to discern what on earth Donald Trump is up to any given day of the week. But effectively, back in July 2025, Anthropic, the makers of Claude, which is basically ChatGPT for the thinking person, if you're kind of a little bit of an aesthete, then you probably are using Claude rather than ChatGPT with everything that comes with that in terms of the kind of cultural and social baggage. They basically made this agreement late last year in the second half to use this in governments, but with two main carve-outs that Anthropic refused to allow, one of which was to have it used autonomously without any sort of human oversight for weapons purposes, and the other one was to say that we would not allow any sort of oversight or snooping on individual American citizens provided they were being lawful. So two really strong red lines that Donald Trump allegedly seems to have wanted to go through and completely destroy, which has meant that Anthropic effectively said no. And I think it was probably the former there that was the big issue with Iran, because obviously this was used in that massive operation that we saw. It was not the first time, by the way. It was used as in part to try and help the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. But at that point, Donald Trump got pretty angry.
But is there any way that the US can simply stop using Claude mid-operation? Surely it can't be that swift. It just can't be. It's all embedded.
Yeah, it is, and that was the big issue that the White House had. So Donald Trump had set this 5 p.m. Eastern Time deadline by which Anthropic had to bend the knee and say that they would allow these two things to happen. They stood firm, they didn't do that, and so they were designated effectively persona non grata or company non grata within the United States government, and everything would go through to try and rip them out of the operations. But of course, at the time, the US was launching this attack against Iran, and so actually what happened was we learned that they went ahead anyway, possibly breaching the terms of the agreement that they had with Anthropic, and then still were really mad and said, actually, we're going to continue to try and remove this, but we have 6 months or so to do so, and at that point you will not be used at all by either central government or any person or company that wants to operate with the US government as well.
Could there be legal action here at some point?
Yeah, there absolutely could be, and in part because of another wrinkle to this story, which is immediately after that was announced, OpenAI, which is often at loggerheads with Anthropic, said that they had signed pretty much the same deal with the White House. And so Anthropic has kind of a double barrel here in terms of the weaponry that it can display in a legal case. Number one, the fact that a competitor was absolutely fine to do this, and then number two, this simultaneous thing of Anthropic being vital for the operation of this huge incident that happened in Iran, while simultaneously being said that actually it was too dangerous to be used in the United States.
All right, more to come there, I think. Can we talk insider betting? I mean, this is really intriguing, and it's happened twice recently. Venezuela was an incident, and now Iran. So explain all.
Yeah, $529 million worth of contracts were traded on these markets that are called Polymarket and Kalshi. We're not actually able to access them properly through the UK. They're not allowed here for various different reasons, but they are allowed in the US, and they can be seen as a little bit of a Wild West. There's not actually anything necessarily illegal with trading based on internal information on these prediction markets, because they're not stock markets. You're making predictions, and one of the reasons why they work is because they have people who have informed predictions effectively setting the odds here. But it is sticking, I think, in the craw of people for various reasons. Number one is, obviously, you have those people who are not necessarily within the government or don't know what is coming up within the government's decision making, who are losing out because prediction markets work by effectively taking a stake on one side or the other of the betting market, and you get matched up, and you take the money from the person who bet the other way around. But also because it is not paying out in ways that bettors predicted. So, for instance, the death of Khamenei in Iran, that was a traded market of, will he still be in power by March?
Right.
He wasn't in power, but actually it's because of something entirely different.
I understand that in Britain, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you can bet on somebody's potential demise, can you? Because that's just considered to be in exceptionally poor taste.
Yeah, well, you said it, and the United States sometimes has different rules, and we can discuss perhaps, if we want, the levels of taste that are involved there.
Yes, well, we haven't got time for that, but I understand what you mean. You are in Barcelona, you lucky devil, and you're at something called Mobile World Congress. I mean, some of the stuff being unveiled here is mind-blowing, but I did love the description of this new Legion Go Fold, this concept foldable gaming handheld with a flexible display that can unfurl to a massive 11.5 inches. I mean, is this a phone? Is it more than a phone? What is it?
It's a little bit of both. It's part laptop, part gaming console, and probably on your children's shopping list for Christmas next year, I would suggest. Mobile World Congress is a completely crazy place. It's absolutely massive. 8 huge halls of products and people selling their wares. Basically a massive industry conflab. The scale of it is ridiculous. I was there for about 5 hours before I came back to the hotel to talk to you, and I ended up doing something like 23,000 steps just pacing the hall. So what we see here effectively is kind of the technology of tomorrow today, and it's where these companies unveil their new products. So yeah, we saw the amazing Legion Go Fold. There's been an odd camera revealed by a company called Honor, which is designed to basically dance alongside you while you're recording videos for TikTok and things like that.
I've read that several times. I don't understand that. How can the camera dance alongside me?
Well, I saw this. So what it does is effectively it has a little kind of gizmo on the top of the device, which is a gimbal. So it keeps it stable. And what it means is that while you are maybe doing your dance moves, you can rock and shake the phone with you. But what it does is it keeps it steady. And sometimes it will kind of bob along to the beat. So it was one of the things that actually had some of the biggest cues, in part because I think it was a very user-friendly social media viral sensation that you can imagine lots of people ending up buying.
I know that you're there, Chris. Could you generalise about the other people who attend Mobile World Congress?
There's a whole range of people. So many people are wearing suits, many people are wearing t-shirts and jeans, and they come from all around the world. Although actually people I was talking to were saying that the incidents in the Middle East and the closure of airports was affecting the numbers a little bit there. There is a massive contingent from China. It's when you get to these sorts of events that you realise just quite how dominant the country is in the tech space. I would estimate probably around about 3 or 4 of the 8 halls are pretty much Chinese-based companies, or those in the Far East and the rest of Asia. And actually, the first one that you see is almost entirely dominated by one company, which is Huawei, which many people in the UK government are a bit worried about as well.
That's really interesting. Thank you. Chris Stokel-Walker reporting from Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. A tough gig.